Welcome to the Predictive Playbook. I'm your host, John Ryan, and I have my good buddy and pal from Miami Beach. I don't think he ever goes anywhere else but Miami Beach, but who would want to go anywhere when they live in Miami Beach? I just came from Florida, and I'm ready to go back now. Ira Silver is in the house, and how is Ira today?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to giving out some more picks. I know we had a video that I was trying to get to you, but we just couldn't, technical difficulties yesterday, couldn't get it going. But I did have some loyal followers of the show DM me last night and gave out 2 picks, went 2-0. So, I gave them the Knights and the Blackhawks, and both of them won. So I'm happy that they reached out to me. And like I said, I'm here for anybody. Anybody wants to DM me, feel free. Sometimes I just don't put my picks on Twitter or whatever. I'm doing a million things with the dog. If you DM me, I promise you I'm available, and I will definitely give you the information as I have it. So I'm glad a few select people that watch the show regularly definitely reached out to me yesterday.
Yeah, that was good. Unfortunately, I was on a jet when this happened, so I just wasn't able to get it posted the right way. And maybe a lesson learned that when you go away to visit family, maybe you shouldn't try to load a video while on a jet. But we gave it the old American try. But I'm glad that some of the guys got the plays, and that's all good. That's what it's all about. So checking some messages here. I'll send one your way here, Ira. Yeah, we're well, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Birdie, what's up, man? Long time no see.
I always wonder when these guys, like Birdie's probably a pretty cool guy, but I wonder how the 8-3, 2-3, 6-6, 8-8 came up to be, because there can't be that many birdies in the world, right?
Probably just automated,
Yeah, you're probably right.
What's up, Robert?
Yeah, Robert's one of our big guys too, so that's all good. So let's start with the hockey here. I'm going to share the screen, and hopefully everybody can then see the odds for the NHL. All right, here we go. Can everybody see that? You can say in the chat room, no, I can't see it. And, I promise I won't say open your eyes, because I know sometimes these things are very small based on the screen you're looking at. But I can see it pretty well. I can even see the live screen that I'm looking at now. So as long as Ira can see it, let's get rolling.
Yeah, we're good to go. Let's get it going here. First game on the board I have is the New York Rangers taking on the New Jersey Devils. Rangers minus 175 against the New Jersey Devils plus 155. You're gonna have. It looks like you're gonna have Igor Shesterkin in goal against projected Mackenzie Blackwood. Blackwood, he's been a little up and down this year, but still a very solid goalie, even though his goals against show you more than what you would think. I think it just has to do with the team he's on, honestly. And Igor is phenomenal. He's always been one of my favorite goalies going back to last year when, John, we talked about it, having a little piece of the Rangers to win the Stanley Cup because of him and his phenomenal kind of rise, So he's got a 2.46 goals against and 92% save percentage. Been really, really good. And this Rangers team looks really, really good, to be honest with you. This is a game that if you're going to bet it, I would bet the Rangers. But I don't think that I'm looking to lay minus 175, minus 180 here with the Rangers. Seems like a little bit too much for a team that can definitely wet the bed here. So I'm just going to lay off this game, even though I have a lean to the Rangers. I just don't want to lay that much money, that much juice on the Rangers.
Well, I agree with you, and I actually like New Jersey, believe it or not, based on the math, and that's what we're calling machine learning from now on, because math sounds basic. Machine learning just sounds like I'm trying to brag. So 60% of the money is on, or 60% of the tickets on the Rangers, but 74% of the money is on New Jersey, and that's very unusual for a dog. So, looking at it right here, my lean would certainly be to take a taste of New Jersey. Maybe nothing, nothing more than a 3%er, and I go 3, 4, 5% for the best bets, or 6, 8, 10 stars, 6, 8, 10 units, as you might see on some other sites, but.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a spot where the Rangers can definitely lay an egg. So, I mean, like I said before, like, I'm just passing on this game. That's why, I mean, if the Rangers were a little less of a price here, I would bet the Rangers, obviously, in the minus 140, even minus 150 range. But yeah, no, I can definitely see them wetting the bed here, laying an egg against the Devils. So I'm laying off this game. Sorry to hear the squeaking of the tennis ball in the background. Gretzky's having a lot of I do apologize.
You should get him a hockey puck, not a tennis ball.
Yeah, right? Very coordinated dude. All right, perfect. Let's move on to the next game, John, and that is the Buffalo Sabres taking on the Boston Bruins. And Boston here looks like to me they're a $3.10, $3.20 favorite against the Buffalo Sabres. Sabres 255 on the other side, over under 5.5 goals here, and it looks like you're going to have Jeremy Slayman taking on Linus Omar. This is actually a game that if I was going to play it, I probably would take a little slice of the Sabres here. Just because Slayman is relatively a new goalie. He's only made 3 starts in his NHL career. And Linus is pretty solid, 2.64 goals against, almost a 92% save percentage. And the Rangers, I mean, the Sabres have been pretty feisty this year. Even though they've been on a pretty awful streak and have been at the bottom of the league, they definitely can score goals, and they've shown that lately. So for me, if I was going to play this game, it would be Sabres at plus 255-ish, 270, something like that. So in that range, that I would take a small piece of that if I was going to play it at all. Next game on the board, we have the and I do have a lean, not an official play, but I would definitely lean over the total in that game as well, over 5.5. So just giving you my thoughts of every game, and I'll tell you when something's official, but just kind of my leans and opinions here.
Ira, you said they were plus 250, I think, right? On the
I see here on the Wager Talk screen that they're plus 280 in some spots, plus 270. Yep. Plus 250, depends where you're shopping, but definitely it's the Sabres or pass here in this game. I think that they can steal one here from the Bruins, or at least make it close where they're really not 270 dogs, right?
Well, here's why I asked you, because this applies to baseball too. Underdogs just this season alone in the NHL of 250 and higher are 7 wins, 16 losses for 30% wins. But because they've averaged a 287 bet, they've made $501 per $100 better for an ROI of 13.1%. So not much in terms of $100 better, but if we do season greater than like the last 10 seasons, we get 59 and 154 straight up. And 287 is still the same betting line as before, and we make 1,061 per $100 better for a 24% ROI. So
can't hate
just
on
simply
that.
blindly doing that every single time, and then there's all kinds of subsets from that. If a dog has lost 5 or more in a row, it's even better.
Yep. Birdie says, I did not bet it, but I'm with you, Ira. Sabres are the look here. I hit the Red Wings last night at plus 290. Funny thing is, I was looking at the Red Wings last night. I didn't actually play it, but definitely it was Red Wings or pass in that game for me, so I'm glad you hit it. It's a nice little slice, a nice little couple slices to turn into a pizza pie, so that's great. But yeah, it's either Sabres or pass here for me, with a slight lean to the over 5.5 in that game. Next game on the board, John, we got the your Philadelphia Flyers taking on the Washington Capitals. Looks like 63% of the tickets are on Washington and 85% of the money is on Washington. And you're going to have Ilya Samsonov in goal for the Capitals against Brian Elliott for the Flyers. Brian Elliott's been, decent, been solid. 2.87 goals against, 89.5% save percentage. Same kind of statistics here for Ilya Samsonov on the other side. Ilya's really, really good, but I will tell you this, Sean. even with the Flyers' struggles, you think that Elliott would have a higher goals against, which he doesn't, which shows you something. It's got to do a lot with the team more than him. And
Agreed.
after Washington's shellacking the other night, I can't remember if it was last night or 2 days ago, they won, I think, 8-1 or 8-2 in that game. So I would take a look at the Flyers here, to be honest with you. Any thoughts for you?
I'm off this game. The over is being bet pretty high here, and that's recency bias with especially Philadelphia. But Philadelphia hasn't had a game where they've given up. What was that one game? They gave up 9 in that slugfest. But if I had any lean at all, it would be to the Flyers and to the under. So those are, 1%ers. They're pizza money.
I'm with you here. Those are my leans as well. I know official play on this game. My lean is to Philly and the under as well. And it's 6.5. So I would lean under and Philly in those games. Not official, but just my thoughts as well. Next game on the board I really like. And it's going to be the Calgary Flames taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Calgary is getting 65% of the tickets, 85% of the money right now, which is wild to me. Calgary is plus 155, 150, 145, 150. I'm seeing at the underboard. It fluctuates no matter, depending on where you're shopping. It's going to be Dave Riddick in goal for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. Just acquired from, now I'm seeing Michael Hutchinson. Let me check another site. 1 second. Do you see the starting goalie for Toronto?
I don't have that page up, but I can try to pull that up.
I'm seeing expected David Riddick against Jacob Markstrom. And if that's the case, if Riddick does starting goal for the Maple Leafs tonight, it's a nice little revenge spot for Dave Riddick and the Maple Leafs. You have Riddick, who was just acquired by the Maple Leafs against his former team in the Calgary Flames. You got to think he's got a little bit of some reads on his offensive players that he practices against every day. This is a spot where I would back the Toronto Maple Leafs if Riddick's in goal at minus 165. That is going to be a play for me. I'm going to play the Maple Leafs at minus 165. Decent size favorite here, but I do think that Toronto gets it going tonight, especially after the loss last night to the Montreal Canadiens. I do like the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight.
Yeah, Toronto's 8-1 over their last 10 with one overtime loss, and Calgary's Calgary's not as bad, I don't think, over the last 10 as a 2-8 record would indicate. That's where you have to be careful when you look at these flash numbers, as I call them, 2-8. But all the other performance measures are actually improving during this bad time. So maybe Calgary by the end of the week, over the weekend, next week might be on Ira's radars. Is my best bet.
That they'll be on my radar for next week.
Yeah, the Flames are trending in the right direction, even though they're 2-8 over the last 10.
Yep. No, listen, and I backed the Flames before here on the show as a sizable dog, and we wanted to take them a couple weeks ago when they were supposed to play the Canucks in a bounce back spot at a super cheap price. I think it was minus 110 or minus 115, and The game got postponed because of COVID. So I'm a believer in the Flames, especially Sutter. He gets those defensive guys going, and if they can kind of figure out how his style is, he's still relatively new in Calgary. It's definitely a spot I want to back, but not against Toronto here tonight. And I hear you, Bertie. I see in the chat, Flames are rested. Leafs have played bad the last 2 games. Love this spot for the Flames. And as you see, as the money indicates, you got 65% of the tickets, 85% of the money on Calgary. But this, I just don't agree with it here. Call me a square, call me whatever you want. This is a Maple Leafs play. This is going to be a 1-unit play for me on the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight against the Calgary Flames. That's it.
Who is the goalie tonight for Calgary?
It's
Well, I guess Markstrom.
Markstrom.
Yeah, because it's pretty much the only guy that's been playing.
Yep.
He's had 143 shots against the last 10 games, 129 saves, 14 goals against, 90.2 save percentage is decent. I mean, I guess by NHL standard, it's maybe just a tad below average, I guess, for a 10-game span. But his goals against 2.63. But despite the rest, and all due respect to Birdie, I think Toronto is clicking on all cylinders, and it reminds me of the Utah Jazz. When they covered 18 of 20. You don't stand in front of on the train tracks and put your headphones on. You know what I mean? So I think I would join Ira here on Toronto or nothing, and until proven wrong, really.
Listen, I'm going to continue to ride my hot streak in hockey. I'm taking the least tonight, minus 165. You can agree or disagree, but that's the play here. The Flames are going to be a bounce back spot for me, but not against Toronto. I agree. And not at plus 145 or plus 150 against Toronto, who is unbelievable, and they can score a ton of goals, especially against Markstrom. So for me, tonight, especially, it's Toronto. But let's move on to the next game. We got the Tampa Bay Lightning minus 165 against the Nashville Predators. Looks like it's going to be Curtis McElhinney against Yusuf Saros. Saros has been on such a run here. He's been an unbelievable run. And this is a spot where I like the Predators. If McElhinney is the starter in goal for the Lightning, I see on a couple of sites that he's projected to start. So if that is the case, I like the Nashville Predators tonight. If Vasilevskiy plays, it's probably a pass game for me, or maybe even the Predators if the line creeps up. Right? If Vasilevskiy starts in goal, I think the line will get juicier for the Predators. So that might be a spot that I would back. I do have a slight lean to the Predators, and if McElhinney plays, it will be an official play for me as well. And then the last game of the night here in hockey is the Florida Panthers taking on the Dallas – I almost said Dallas Mavericks. Florida Panthers taking on the Dallas Stars. Florida is projected to start Chris Driedger in goal against Anton Khudobin for the Dallas Stars. Khudobin 2.31 goals against, 91% save percentage, 9.5 record. Against Chris Driedger, he's got a great record this year, 11-5-2 with a 2.05 goals against with a 93% save percentage. Driedger is one of these guys that's flying under the radar this year as a backup goalie to Sergei Bobrovsky. I really like Driedger tonight, and I like the Panthers. I like the Panthers minus 115 against the Dallas Stars here.
Yeah, I can see why, for sure. I'm just looking at the database here,
Just looking at the starting lineups real quick for the Florida Panthers. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, no, Florida for me here. I'm taking Florida on the road, minus 115 against the Stars.
And they've really only two goalies over the last 10 games. And you said Bobrovsky is starting tonight, Sergei.
No, Driedger starting tonight.
Oh, okay.
He's the backup to Bobrovsky.
Yeah, and he's saved 82 of his last 85 shots on goal for 96.5 over the last 10 games. And I think you said he's 93 for the season, so 0.97 goal against average the last 10. So, yeah, that's really, really good.
He's one of those guys that nobody's talking about because he's a backup, but he's been playing very well, and I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with him, honestly, watching him. It seems like nobody can get a puck by him, especially when I bet on the other side. So hopefully it goes a little bit better for us tonight, and we'll back Driedger and the Panthers and take the Panthers minus 115 here against the Dallas Stars. So two official plays here for the NHL card, and that's going to be the Toronto Maple Leafs minus 165 and the Florida Panthers minus 115 against the Dallas Stars. And if you did miss the show, slight leans to Nashville slight leans to Buffalo, and slight lean to the Flyers.
Yep, and we are on New Jersey for a 2%er. If yours are 3%ers, then I feel pretty good about this 2%er. In fact, I might put it up as a free pick right after the show on sportsmemo.com. And while I'm thinking of a free pick, if you go to my, I have it on the bottom of the screen there if you haven't seen it. I've been doing this the last couple of almost 2 weeks now. They're 12-6 or 12-7. Went 1-2 with those free picks yesterday, unfortunately, but that was one of the few losing days. You'll get, all you have to do is retweet the tweet, and I'll send out a free pick, and it's a free premium pick. It's not just me throwing or just taking out a team and giving it to you. That's not one of my premium picks that my subscribers get. So this is one that my paying clients get, just to give you a taste of the information that I give. And 12-6 or 12-7 is not setting the earth on fire, but it's a heck of a lot better than 6-12.
Yep.
So we're going to have to come up with a different word for grind, because it doesn't sound like it's much fun. It sounds painful. But one day at a time, and we just take it like that. But tomorrow, there's going to be a huge game in the NBA, and it's the Sixers against the Nets. One team plays really good defense. One team has an incredible player that actually plays point guard and can cover any of 1 through 5. He shut down Giannis to his career low for a half and a game. That particular team scored 29 points and was a NBA championship contender last year. So I think you know who I'm on, and it's not the Nets. That's going to be a great game to watch, win or lose. But I already ran the numbers for that game, and that's going to be it's potentially a 5%er on the Sixers. We just have to wait a little bit till tomorrow and see how the betting flows go, see if anything changes in the models, but it's not. So, and I can tell you right now, the world is going to be on the Nets.
Oh yeah.
So that's all good.
Agree with that.
I also had David Behrman on today. He does the PGA, and he lost one bet this past week in the Masters. It was a matchup. He went 6-1 in those. All his top 20 bets cashed. All his top 10s cashed.
Wow.
2 of my 7 DraftKings cashed. I was 2-0 in matchups. I don't do too many matchups because I don't like paying that vig. But watching him, tailing him would be probably a pretty good idea, because he said, he's 8 for 8 in tournaments. And also, they have a special show. It's normally the Daily Wager at 6 o'clock. And I'm only mentioning this because I absolutely love the show. And they're doing a special NBA video cast in place of that. And that will be on the air tomorrow at 6 p.m. So just check out ESPN.com/chalk. And it'll show you all the information about this. The 2 regulars on the Daily Wager are polished beyond belief. They're very good, and you can get those kind of quality picks along with our show and roll with them. And I respectfully do put our picks up there in that realm, Ira, because I've been doing this for a long time, and the more information you exchange, the better it is.
Oh, absolutely. Collaboration is key in this industry, and the more you collaborate, the more knowledge you gain, Let me ask you a quick question about a baseball game.
Sure.
I'm surprised you're not on the Phillies tonight.
Well,
I feel like
sometimes the obvious isn't so obvious. I have absolutely nothing on it.
It's a double header. Okay, I understand. It's the second
game 1 already started. That was
right. I meant the second game, Nola versus Stroman.
Yeah, Stroman, when he was in Toronto, was a stud, and he still might be. Noah is a very sound pitcher, very good. But if he could ever be a number 2, he would be really, really good. I just never looked at him as a full season ace. The first half of the season, he can look like an ace. He can look like a contender for the Cy Young, and then fatigue, and it happens to everybody. Maybe I'm wrong this year, and he's going to just keep winning and winning and winning. He's pitching very well. But I really, I don't know. I'll tell you what I will do. Divisional doubleheaders a lot of times go where if the home team wins the first one, you take the road team, especially if you think the road team's the better team. Because rarely does that situation ever go 0-2 to the better team. I do think right now the Phillies are a better team than the Mets. We can have a conversation in July, and I could be saying the opposite. But right now, the Phillies are a team that has won. They're 6-3 without Bryce Harper doing much of anything, and he usually is red hot to start a season. If you look at his career, his starts have always been incredible, nothing short of it. He's batting up near 360 and hitting home runs every other day. But that hasn't been the case this year so far, and that's the X factor. So whenever you think Bryce is ready to break out here in the next couple of days, next week, you definitely want to back the Phillies then, because they have that 3-man bullpen too that when they are available can pretty much shut down anybody. So that's an interesting call, Ira. It really is, because I would think the Phillies would get to Walker in the first game. So that would kind of wreck my idea with if the Phillies lose the first, bet them the second. But we'll have to wait and see. I didn't even see what the score is, but we can look that up here.
I think it just started.
Yeah, it started at 4. Mets are up 2-0. Second inning.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean,
put it down as a best bet for the show, Ira. That if the Phillies lose the first, we'll do an if-then.
Okay.
We'll take the Phillies in the second.
Perfect.
Boxed with Noah.
Perfect. Love it.
So for those that are new, I always think of this, like a box with Noah means that Noah has to throw the first pitch of the game for the Phillies. He'll obviously be pitching second since it's a road game, but
my boy is pitching tonight, but I hate the matchup.
Trevor Bauer.
No, Pablo Lopez.
Oh wow! I did not know that about you.
Yeah, we talked about it last show. We
that's right. We did. And Alcantara, I had him as a premium pick. When did he pitch? Saturday? Yesterday? Friday? See, that's what I know. I'm going one day at a time. When I can't remember the bets that won or lost the day before, and I just know that it was a net profit or a net loss, and I know my head's on straight. But Alcantara pitched real well in his start, and Pablo Lopez, too, is a stud. Miami is deep, even in the farm system. It's just really deep.
It's scary, though, because I think the Braves roughed Lopez up last year.
Yeah, let me. I'm going to just pull him up here a second. This will be a good way to put a bow on the show here. So I'm going to brooksbaseball.net out of convenience because they also have all the FX pitching stats. I get the spin rates from other places, but...
By the way, John, before you get into that, just looking at the betting flows and the board on Wager Talk, it leads me to like the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, I was looking at that too while we were just talking. That's right. It is a crossover, right?
Yep.
You got Flaherty getting 71% of the money, but 62% of the tickets are on Washington and Steven Strasburg.
Yep.
So, yeah, St. Louis is at, I see minus 112 at Westgate, minus 110 Pinnacle. That game doesn't go till 7:45. If you can get minus 110, it might go to pick.
I'm
But
seeing.
I would wait.
I'm seeing the Cardinals as -110 right now.
Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't screw around with it to get pick or plus money. I would get on it now.
Yeah, I like the Cardinals there. Based
Yeah.
on those.
Yeah, why don't you put that down as a
Done.
pick 2, and let me get to Pablo here. So Pablo throws a pretty decent change at 88, sinker 94, cutter 91, curve about 79, but it's the velocity of movement. You can have 100 miles an hour, and if it doesn't move, it's going to get hit to kingdom come in this day and age of uppercut swinging. And there's no advantage to throwing 100 anymore. I think there's more of an advantage throwing 92 and spotting it, meaning that you can go in and out on the plate. You never throw anything over the middle. And that's what Zach Greinke is still doing, throwing 88. So four-seam fastball here. All right, so I want to get both the movement and the speed here. Here we go. All right, so yeah, I'm going to just do the last since 2018. All right, here we go. He throws four-seam sinker 57% of the time. So he's basically almost a 60% fastball pitcher. You'll see that first pitch strike. Anywhere, 94 up. The vertical movement, the sinking action is almost 7 inches, and it's late breaking. Generally glove side, which means that if he's throwing to he's right. He's a righty, right? Righty pitcher.
I believe so.
Yeah. So if we're wrong, just switch this. If you see him pitching tonight,
he's a righty.
Yeah, it's going to tail in hard and down to a right-handed batter. And you'll think he just threw like a screwball because of the movement. The changeup, the horizontal movement on the changeup is the same direction, but it's almost 10 inches. So he literally can aim that way off the plate on the left side, and it will tail in dramatically into the corner or the middle of the plate. And I guarantee you'll see at least one Braves batter stand there and look at called strike 3 on that pitch because it's ridiculous. And when he's on, to Ira's, points all along about him, it's pretty remarkable to watch. It's fun to watch. Even if you're a Braves fan, you have to appreciate his talent. And after all, it is the game of baseball, so you have to cheer for the other side once in a while, or not cheer, appreciate. So, I think that's the only thing he lacks is run support. If he had the run support like Clayton Kershaw and the rest of that staff get, he could possibly win 17 or 18 games, maybe more.
Absolutely.
So let's recap our your hockey picks. The only one I threw in there just to kind of screw up your record probably is that team from Buffalo at plus 270 or 280, whatever.
I'll play Buffalo for half a unit. Why not?
All right. Buffalo half unit.
Half unit on Buffalo at plus 255, 270, depending on where you're getting it. Recap of the picks are the Florida Panthers minus 115 over the Dallas Stars. The Toronto Maple Leafs minus 160 against the Calgary Flames. Half a unit on the Buffalo Sabres. And let's go a half a unit on the Nashville Predators.
Okay. We should do this for our busy days. Maybe Robert would like to record the plays that we give out at the end of the show if he's on, and then he can retweet the show, and it's somebody else other than ourselves putting our best bets out. But we'd have to double check him, I guess, but only if he wants to.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
He hasn't said anything yet, but because he really does. I've gotten messages from him too, and he follows you. Because you'll be the first one of many that will say, "Is there a show today?" So it's all good, man. But I like getting these people in the chat room involved as much as possible.
Absolutely, that's what it's all about: collaboration, community. You know.
Yep. So I guess for today, that's going to be it for us, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's just the Maple Leafs and the Panthers for 1 unit, Sabres and Predators for half a unit, and John has a play on the Devils. I'm not playing it, but those are my picks. Are the Maple Leafs, Predators, Sabres, and Panthers.
Yep.
And I like the St. Louis Cardinals in baseball. Again, I'm not a baseball expert, but I do like the betting flows here.
Yeah, I will definitely support that. And there was actually the Phillies game, and I like the idea that someone in the chat room said first 5 Phillies, second game if they lose the first. That was Robert right there. It is on the screen.
It's only a 7-inning game because it's a doubleheader, but
yep.
So I don't know how that works.
I don't know that either. I actually do not know that.
I really don't. Just to be quite honest with you.
I would be quite comfortable going full game. I don't even know if they offer first 5 for double headers because we haven't had many double headers yet. I don't see anything here that would help me. But anyway, we'll call it a day today, Ira, and then tomorrow will be. I think we're probably going to lean towards that 4 o'clock because then that dovetails right into my next show with that. We try to make it like you're hanging out at the pub at the end of the day with a couple of your friends, recounting the possible best bets of the evening. And yours do get shared. We don't talk too much about hockey, but everything gets collaborated at the end, to use your word earlier in the show. And we try to make it like you're just sitting around on a bar stool talking a few sports, having a couple pints before you head home and make your final decisions.
Absolutely. All right, John. Well, it was a pleasure as always. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So we'll end it the same way as we do for Ira, myself, and the Predictive Playbook. May all the wins be yours.